Rovers transfer rumour mill continues to spin as another name comes out the pot. Another League One striker. Who is it? I'll tell you all about him next. That's right, folks, back again, another transfer rumour coming at you for Blackburn bloody Rovers, and we'll get to that in just a second. You know where you've been, smash your subscribe button, bounty, all things Rovers related, transfers related, world football related. We got it all here, boys. Under one Rooski, of course. Yes, the latest name coming out the hat is as a teammate of old Captain Fantastic Elliot Bennett. That's right. Who is it? I'll jump in the deep end in just a second. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs. They are the patrons, of course. You know who you are. But who am I talking about? Well, I am talking about the one, the only. A bit of a mystery man here, but we're going to tell you all about it. His name is Thomas Bloxham. That's right, coming at you right here, right now. It's a player that we have been linked with, stretching all the way back to February, but his name has reared up, of course, in the past month. Coming at you from Football League World via One Football, and of course via the Daily Mail. It's all in here, so it is a link. It's a name. It's coming out of nowhere, and of course one that I want to bring you a little bit more detail about. Swansea also with the mix. Rotherham United, other clubs linked with him. But hopefully we have an inside track with, of course, a player that continues to follow us, continues to support us since he's left. And that is, of course, Captain Fantastic Elliot Bennett. Well, let me tell you a little bit about this young chap. He is a project. He's a player that is not the finished article by a long chalk, but he wasn't even first team regular for Shrewsbury this season. He was one that was kind of bubbling up towards the back end of the campaign, get more and more minutes, get more and more bits of action. But he's definitely a diamond in the rough, one that needs to be fined. And I would not expect him to come straight into the first team. He would be somebody perhaps to go into the academy or help support the under-21s or for the first season, I would imagine, or maybe even a loan back or something like that. But anyway, it is another name that continues to linked with Blackburn Rovers. Let's tell you a little bit more about him. Of course, here he is. He played 28 times this campaign for the Shrews. Did not score a goal. So that's a glaringly obvious little bit of a lacking that we also have struggled with is finding goals. So if he's going to be the man to come in to score the goals, he's going to have to do better than this, of course. Those kind of numbers are not great, but he was only featured in the starting 11 at just 11% of the time, and 18% of the time he got some minutes as well. So 0% goal participation. But again, like I said, he is a diamond in the rough. He is a piece of charcoal right now that we need to kind of compress, mould, and turn it into the finished article. But let's take a look at where he can play. A bit of versatility in the guy going forward. Down the middle is his preferred spot, but he can play on the left, he can play on the right. He also can play attacking midfield and the right side of midfield as well. So a bit of a universal kind of player up top, but definitely fitting in that mould of a Diaz or a Gallagher even. And again, that's a player that we're going to compare him to towards the back end of his this overview of the lad. But as you can say, 20 times this season, or 20 times he's played as striker. He has scored goals, but it wasn't this campaign, I believe. We'll have a look at the finer details of his numbers in a second. 10 times on the right-hand side of the wing there, and of course 2 on the left. And attacking midfield, just the one time, right side of midfield as well, the once as well. So he has got goals. He has got a goal. He has scored in his career. Just this season has not been great. Here he is celebrating what would have been one of them goals, I would imagine. And looking at that badge, it looks like Carlisle United, if my badge knowledge is up there. There he is, 5 goals in his career, 81 times he's played for the Shrews. And of course, by competition, he scored twice in League One. Okay, an assist as well. So, I think when I did a little bit of digging on here, I think he's got links with Spurs. I think he was either on trial at Spurs, maybe come through the academy. I don't know, but he's on the books now at Shrewsbury. For now, of course, is he a player that we are going to be putting our hopes on? I don't think so. I don't like when you look across over the past week. I linked us with Colby Bishop, Miles Lieben, Kevin Nesbitt. This guy would fall way down that list in my eyes for startability. Guy who's going to come in and start for Rovers next season. If we're going to be pinning our hopes on this youngster, no disrespect to the guy, I just don't think he's ready for Championship football week in, week out when he's just breaking into the team for Shrewsbury on a more serious thing here. Of course, there you go. There's a breakdown of when the goals happened. They came twice the previous campaign in League One, also twice in the Cup, and one in the EFL Trophy. So there's 5 goals in all their glory. But nothing this campaign. 28 times he's featured, and a lot of them were on the bench. I did break them down. So he's been a project for Shrewsbury, and maybe just maybe he's starting to show his real quality now because of course it's been bubbling since the dawn of 2023. I first saw links with Bloxham way back in February for Rovers, but now that name has come back once again. Let's compare him, of course, to a guy of a similar sort of playability, I guess, is Sam Gallagher. He's actually 19, so of course Tom Bloxham, of course Gallagher's 27, and you know we have this week had a busy, crazy week. Dak announced his departure. Diaz, we knew. Ayala as well. The retain list was dropped. And of course, Greg brought his own spin to things with his interview, saying that we may have to sell to buy. Now, this young lad's contract expires in 2025, so this would probably fall in that category of a player to buy. So we would not be able to scoop him up on a free. However, when you flip her around, maybe Sam Gallagher is one of those players we may look to sell to generate funds to bring in a player of Tom Bloxham's quality. Again, he is taller, I believe. Is he taller? I don't have the measurements. Maybe he's not taller. I don't know. That's something we need to find out. Maybe you guys, the investigators in the viewers out there, can let me know if he's taller than 1.93 meters. Because Sam Gallagher is a tall, lanky fella, and he needs to, whether he's playing for us or not, needs to contribute a bit more with his head. And again, carbon copy of Gallagher, plays down the right or left, but prefers down the middle. Of course, his value, Gallagher's value, of course, has been steady Eddie, around about £3.5 million for a little bit now. Bloxham now slowly creeping up towards that £1 million mark. I'm sure if we could convince the Venkies that this kid could be the future. There was a lot of similarities I read with Harry Kane, so potentially if we can invest in the future, one of the future British strikers in the game, and maybe this kid is it. Do we take a punt on him? It's worth to consider. But for me, if we are looking at this young lad as the goals for next season, then I think we are deluding ourselves somewhat. So it's an interesting name that's been linked with Rovers, and you know, it doesn't get me all excited. Not really. But I do hope we are looking at British talent to bring in, to invest, and you know, to maybe unearth the next Harry Kane, unearth the next Ollie Watkins. And I think a couple of the names that have been linked this week could fit that mould. But they will require additional work if they're going to be first team ready. But that's my take on this young lad, Bloxham. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about him. As of course we keep on the transfer rumours as and when we get them. I am running out of them. Hopefully this weekend there's a few more that bubble up. But over the next couple of days I've got a couple more for you. So make sure you stick around for those. But until then, guys, subscribe, thumbs up, and of course hit the little bell. We'll be back with another rumour tomorrow, and I'll see you next for the next one.